Okay, let's make a start. So this is the first lecture for this final summer segment of Phil 100, which is called Death, the Good Life and the South. I'm Sam Clark. It's Dr. Clark if you're feeling formal, but I prefer Sam. I hope you're all doing okay. I hope you're staying as well and sane as you're able to. Thanks for joining us. Before I get going, I want to talk about a few practicalities. First, and probably obviously, giving lectures like this is new to me. I'm used to being in a lecture theatre with a room full of people who I can read and respond to and talk to. But instead, here I am sitting talking to my laptop in my study at home. And being at home means I can't guarantee there won't be an invasion from children or cats or both. That means I'm trying stuff out. And it would really help me if you let me know what works, what doesn't. Am I audible? Am I talking too fast? Do I need to do something else to try and present these in as useful a way as possible? So let me know. Keep in touch. Let me say something also about the PowerPoint presentation that I'll be talking over. In general, I think PowerPoint can be a very useful tool, but it's a misuse of it. It's a mistake to use it as if it were a textbook, trying to use it to contain everything that the segment covers. That's not what PowerPoint's for. PowerPoint is for visual background and support, and for giving a framework to your own thinking and notes, and indeed to my talking. So not everything you need is in these slides. I won't be reading slides out to you. Great walls of text. What would be the point of that? If I were going to do that, I should just send you the PowerPoint deck. Instead, all these PowerPoint presentations is a structure for your own writing of notes and your own thinking about the arguments and material I'm going to discuss, about the set reading, and about the further discussions you have in your seminars, and of course about the further reading. My lectures are in general designed to be interactive. I leave plenty of space for stopping and talking to people, or for responding to people's perplexities or confused expressions, or simply for pursuing something that seems interesting in the moment. Of course, I won't be able to do that. You're not here live for me to respond to, and that means that quite possibly I won't fill the whole time, the whole official 50 minutes. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm simply going to say what I have to say, and we'll see how long it takes. Don't know why it's shifted to that. But I do want to take and respond to questions. I do want to respond to you. And for that purpose, we've got a Q&A forum on the Moodle. So please do make use of that. Post questions. Of course, if you want to ask a question privately, you can. You can just email me. I'm sam.clark@lancaster.ac.uk. But I think better to use the Q&A forum. If you have a question, probably other people have that question too, and it would be helpful to them both to have it answered in public and to see that other people are thinking the same things, asking the same questions, having the same worries and inclarities. So please do make use of that. I'll be checking into it regularly. Okay, let's get going. So this segment is about the human problem of death. And I have bad news. We're all going to die. Eventually. Me probably sooner than you. And that fact is a central human problem and perplexity. Now, of course, the fact that we're going to die doesn't make us humans distinctive. All animals are going to die. What makes us distinctive is that we are, well, as far as we know, the only animals who know that we're going to die, and who therefore have to live our lives in the face of that. And our knowledge of that fact that we know that our lives are finite, that we are going to die, shows up in our ways of living in a way that it apparently doesn't in the ways of living of other animals, non-human animals. For example, we build memorials and rituals. Here, of course, is the Taj Mahal, a memorial to one beloved lost person. We can also think of the pyramids, the Albert Memorial, or Lancaster's own Taj Mahal, the Ashton Memorial, which was built in 1907 to 9 by the Lancaster linoleum millionaire James Williamson, Lord Ashton, in memory of his wife, like the Taj Mahal. We devote space to cemeteries. We leave piles of flowers by the road. We make ghost bikes. A huge amount of our public landscape and our public activity is devoted to recognising death and to memorialising lives now finished. We tell stories about death. In fact, lots of our stories are in some way about death. Think of genre stories, detective stories, which are about uncovering the mechanism of death and perhaps thereby taming it. Think about horror stories featuring creatures that have some different relation to death than we do. Ghosts, vampires. Think of science fiction and fantasy stories of immortals. There's poetry. Lots of poetry. You're going to read a Philip Larkin poem for this week, and I'll refer to more poetry as we go. Think of music, requiems, tributes, funeral music. Endlessly fertile late night conversation starter is what music do you want played at your funeral? I'd like Charles Mingus's Goodbye Pork Pie Hat, please. Philosophy, of course. Some of the best philosophy there is, the richest, most interesting philosophy, in my view, is about death and about the questions it raises. Some of it is in the set reading, and you'll find more starting from the further reading suggestions and from further things I suggest as we go along. So, how are we going to approach this problem? Well, we're going to address it